Hello and welcome back to what are we even called? Is it the Classic Recap? Is that what we're calling it? It's the Classic Recap now with myself, Leon Pierce, and Bradley Y. Mark. And we are going to go over a big special today. We are covering the FIBO Germany, as well as touching on some PCA shows and NFM possibly. So other federations going around the country. I know PCA had a standout classic bodybuilder win the overall. We've also got some bits of fun. So some rate my physiques, rate my rig. So we will be rating how they look and shitting on your posing as well. So let's get to it. How are we, boys?
Yeah, we are good. We are good.
Good, man. All fucking good. Fresh, fantastic.
Yeah, you know.
Fine, fresh and fucking fantastic.
Jeez.
I love how well that's always stuck as well.
Yeah, it come from my like 2021 prep. I felt like shit. And I was doing like morning
I
check.
never remember watching.
I was like literally telling everyone I felt fantastic, like death face, like I can't smile. I was like, yeah, I feel fine, fresh, and fucking fantastic. And I was like, if I convince myself, then I'll convince everybody else. It just kind of stuck from there.
I just remember like
same.
the crackhead face of the coffee morning, saying it every morning. I like wake up at 5 a.m. at like the same time. The sun's just come up. Brad's there with his mug of coffee, just like dying still.
Literally rocking backwards and forwards.
If I'm ever fucked on prep and someone asks how I am, I was like, yeah, I'm brand new secondhand.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Because you feel brand new sometimes, and then the rest of the time you just feel fucked. Secondhand, third hand, fourth hand.
People usually see my face and don't even ask me. They're like, wow, leave that crackhead alone.
Face says it all. I'm just gonna leave that man alone.
Like that man is terminally ill. Just give him some peace.
Right, boys. I'm gonna go over to the bits that you sent me on WhatsApp, Brad, of the bits that you recorded on your laptop. Let's see how good the view is. I'm not going to put it full screen and have a little look, but let's roll with that first. So,
yeah, man.
Where we go?
So I downloaded the live stream, but they kept cutting in and out. The quality seemed to be good from what I saw recording. I know when I was speaking to Joe, kind of as I was watching it, seeing his pictures, the quality was so much better. Like the lighting was quite dark on the live stream, and it was quite hard to see the first few classes and just actually how lean they were. I think they adjusted the lighting or the recording kind of composure as it went on, because I know when it got to Corey's class it did seem a lot clearer, but it wasn't pristine. Like it was quite hard to see. You could tell they were good dudes, but you just couldn't tell just how crisp they were.
Yeah, it was mad as well because on Joe's like phone photos from the side of the stage, the lighting looked perfect. It looked like a perfectly lit show. It was crazy, but they just didn't sort out the live stream well.
Yeah, the live stream just come through very dark, and I found that backdrop just really fucking distracting. Like,
Yeah, because I didn't see the live stream. I only saw photos and like little clips, so I didn't notice how much it's flashing around like this. Like, what a fucking nightmare.
yeah. First thing you see is just constant distraction. It just takes away from the physique, which I think is quite a shame. Like, just simple backdrops would just be nice for something like this.
Whose class is it? This first one here.
They didn't say, and obviously they announced it in German and then English, but it was so quick. I think this was men.
This will be A, won't it? This will be the Hobbit class. I say Hobbit class like I'm 6 foot tall. I'm only in the class above.
I'm the same. I can't say shit about height.
This is the little man class. Right. Where's Corey at? Oh, shit. Here we go.
Man, you're just airing everyone's conversations, yeah.
Who, me?
Leon, like...
I'm concentrating to try and look at the screen. I'm like, they're retarded, man.
Yeah, so is this? I think this was Corey's class. You see what I mean? Like how dark it is. You just couldn't really like assess.
If anyone listening and not watching this on YouTube, we're currently looking at footage of the FIBO where it is just prejudging. So your boy Corey Fieldhouse took first in his class in a big class, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Exceptional. Looked absolutely just retarded good. Mad. But unfortunately lost out on the overall. Now we've got Corey right here.
I think this might have been his posing routine, or his
Man, he was peaked so fucking well, man, for this show. He had that like beautiful balance of fullness, but you know the condition was nuts. It's like they absolutely nailed this one.
It was like what I said about Matt last week, when when you look like plastic, you fucking nailed the peak. Like, it just looks insane.
It was everything though. Even in his lineup, it was like his tan was just fucking perfect. Just everything was just literally so on point. It was just, it is that fucking overall. Like, he stood there, and honestly, like, I never want to say anything's a clear win, like, because you just don't know. But I looked at that, I was like, he's fucking got this. He has got this. And when you see the lineup, like, I think this might have been his open height class where they were calling out the
Well, his open height class, I thought, was closer than the overall.
yeah, so did I. So did I.
Yeah, because from the bits that I see, the guys that he beat in his class was more impressive than the guy that won the show.
Yeah, so this is the first call out in his height class.
And that guy that won as well, he's been pulled up and called out a few times for photoshopping. The dude photoshops his check-in shots and his stage shots. Mad.
He's got a big with wacky proportions as well, because he comes second in his class at the Arnold when Corey did the Arnold. So he's obviously like on the cusp of a pro card all the time as well, like hitting the pro-am shows. I think it helps when you're, it definitely helps when you're in Germany and you're like local to that area.
Yeah.
Because I think his coach is Stefan. As well, though, man, it just like, it's a sport of knocking on the door until it's your turn, right? As well.
Yeah, that is
Not only can you like not control if someone better than you turns up, you can't control which way. Look at that. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, just thinking the same thing, man. Like, you can see
Corey stood out leaps and bounds. Like,
I thought that the ball guy that got second was excellent, and when I seen some shots, like his legs are much fuller than Corey's. His car like posterior chain as well, like from the waist down. But Corey was just much nicer shaped.
Yeah.
The guy was peaked just as well, to be honest, but Corey just he was just more classic, I think, at the end of the day. And they went true to classic, but it was a questionable decision at the overall, I think.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Take him to school, boys. Take him to school.
Take him to school, boys.
It seemed like Corey really Corey was very dominant in all of his shows, very confident, but it just felt like he had an extra element of confidence in this show. Like, he was just there in his own world, in his own head. Like, it just didn't, there was no question. He was just there to fucking do the business.
I think that was such a shock as well when he didn't get it, because you know, it's all right being someone's friend and like close mate and stuff like that and saying, oh yeah, he's got it for sure, it's a certain. Everyone was actually really just weirdly chill, like, oh my god, he's got this, fair play. Like, it weren't like no one was freaking out, and then when it didn't happen, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, instantly. Like, I didn't know what to say, because like I was giving feedback in the chat as well, and I just thought, nah, I don't even know how to fucking comment on that, because probably shot. Let's go.
But it's just goes to show, man, anything can fucking happen in this. When you're getting judged, at the end of the day, it can literally be down to that set of judges. You know, similar to my client Nick, you know, on stage on the weekend.
Yeah,
I thought that he took that class, you know. But again, it's that there's a different set of judges in the show in 2 weeks' time. So you just never know. It's who you're in front of on the day, isn't it, really?
Mm-hmm.
You're literally in the hands of other people's opinions and what they, you know, prescribe that certain class criteria as.
Mm-hmm.
So there is the big news: daylight robbery at FIBO. The other guy is an excellent athlete as well, but Corey was just peaked too perfectly. Not outsized, not outshone, not outconditioned. Even like what you said, Brad, like the tan, the oil, everything perfect. Like, there weren't a single thing that you thought, his tan was off, or like, you know, like Brandon last week, his like tan really let him down. I thought there was nothing that stood in the way, and it's disappointing when it goes like that. And it's like Corey put a video up today, a big 8-minute emotional one. And it's like, how can you, like, where do you go when you've like prepared everything into it? It's a bit like,
it's the overall here, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, look at that from the rear.
That was
Like,
the
Corey's in the center on the left. The other dude that won is in the center on the right.
yeah.
every single shot, like,
Polished.
yeah. So clean, so crisp. Like, even in this lineup, like his
If
handstand.
anything, I think the guy on the outside on the right is closer.
Yeah, that's who I thought as well, because he had some pretty wild shots when he hit them.
It's thick as hell as well.
Yeah, he looks pretty fucking thick, this dude.
See,
But
this
I
is
don't know whether it's the lighting or whether he looks better in person, because you know it's always different looking at a stream, looking at shots than it is in person. But from looking here, he looks the softest out of the lot of them.
I just think I don't think he was soft because the kid is never actually like soft. I think he's just he weren't oiled like glazed properly. But then if you go like start the video at the start again, look at the posterior chain, like from the lats into the waist, from the glutes into the hams time compared to Corey's. It's just man, that's like 2.5 years of work behind. Like, come on.
Yeah. Like look at you can just see the difference in terms of the amount of muscle he's holding compared to
Corey is etched.
Yeah.
Like, you can just see the level of detail and depth there. The other one just, nah, it's just not the same. Chalk and cheese.
Like I said, like the guy on the outside on the right, fuck me. Like that, if he was stood next to Corey, I'd be like, that's tough, that is. But
That's what I thought the original competition was. And then when they called it, I was like, what? It just seemed baffling, to be honest.
I'm sure that guy had the exact same feeling and story as Corey then after this. That like he was like, what the fuck, man? What's going on?
Yep. And you can't blame this dude for, it's out of his hands, I suppose.
Yeah. He is a good athlete, man, and he took second at the Arnold in America. So he's not a bad fucking athlete. He's fucking excellent. But
just chill on the Photoshop, bro. Right, where are we going next?
I think, seeing as you brought Nicholas up, you should bring up the man of the hour.
Big Nick.
The FIBO as well, like not just from Corey's perspective, but as a whole, like as we kind of like comment on posing and just the standard of the athlete, the standard across the board was ridiculous, like very, very high standards across all classes. And even the posing, like there wasn't anything that you kind of saw and was just like, oh, come on, like sort that out. Like it was a very good standard across, like as a whole.
I always think that in European shows that are like Central Europe, they don't mess about at all. Like it's like a serious, nothing, no stones left unturned. They're like the Finland, Denmark kind of areas, like at the end of the year and stuff like that, are kind of a bit sparse when it comes to numbers competing and stuff. These are the guys that are like, they've been trying the big man weekend for a few years. They've been trying like the Spain one for a few years, the amateur Olympia and stuff like that. I don't think anyone is like up there that doesn't deserve to be up there.
Yeah.
So this was Nick here after 3 days of fat loading, ready, intramuscular triglycerides full as a motherfucker, ready for that glycogen to go in for that first day of loading.
We still got your WhatsApp like half closed.
Oh, can you not see what I'm seeing?
No.
Oh,
I'll just share it again.
All right, hold up, stop share. Let's go on this again. I thought I was sat there looking at Instagram thinking, what is everyone not looking at?
I was like, is it just me?
Here we go.
Yeah, there we go.
So good.
Such a sick shape. Like
the tie-ins on this guy are mad. The fact it's like 6'1" as well. Like he doesn't.
Yeah, he's over 6 foot.
Around.
He's but like I say, this was him like 3 days into fat loading. We had literally got him the leanest, the flattest he'd ever been in his life. Like I think his last stage out and he was 103.5 kilos, and this one we got him, in the low 90s.
Really?
Yeah, man. He sort of went into a bit of a furnace mode, and I think the kind of data that we got from feedback from people on the day was just to bring him in fuller. So, like I say, we did 3 days on these fats here, and then went in with a first day at 1,000 gram of carb, second day at 800 gram of carb, and then on the show day there was pretty much 1,000 gram of carb going in as well across the totality of the day. And still they was like, yeah, he needs to be fuller, but I think he was just so peeled at that point. It was not even touching the side. So we've got that data to move into the next one even stronger. But yeah, he looked fucking awesome, man. He looked fucking awesome. Very yeah.
You're gonna give him a Five Guys refeed now.
5 Guys, yeah. Yeah,
Five
bro.
guys in the diazide.
5 guys in diazide at my G.
Yeah,
Let's
on
go.
stage. You
Yeah,
probably would look sick doing that if you fucking had to come in fuller. Accidentally looking sick as well.
yeah, yeah, bro. Right. Who have we got
Nah,
here?
he looks madman. Fair play. That's a
Very-
hard show as well. The Australian shows as well. I think because there's not very many shows on.
Yeah.
Mate, they're
Got 2
close.
parts of the season, haven't you? Season A and season B. And like there was 13 in his class. You know, the classes I was watching before it, like bodybuilding, there was like over 20 guys in each class. Of every single class, there was like 10 guys, 20 guys, 15 guys. It's like they only get a select amount of time across a year to, you know, do these shows. So I think everyone, their mum and their sister and their brother and their uncle who lives down under, you know, goes for these shows.
Mm.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. Like, fair play. I watched the highlights, obviously, because you stayed up with him. When I woke up that morning, I watched the highlights on your Instagram, and I was just like, "Jeez, like
It's
big
very-
line shows,
Mm.
sick."
Yeah, man. That's good. He's such a cool fella as well.
Mm.
As are all Aussies, man. I don't think I've ever met an Aussie person that I don't like. They're all so fucking chill.
Yeah,
They're
Yeah.
so. I think the only one left, if you want to go on the PCA page, actually,
You looking at Craig?
Craig, Wild
You know,
Rig.
Bro, Craig.
Yeah.
I've been chatting to Craig a while now, like on and off through Instagram. He messaged me a while back asking me about NFM, if he should do it. I said to him, bro, trust me, do an NFM show. I reckon you'll do well. You'll probably enjoy the show. It's a good production and whatnot. Went there, took the amateur, won the pro class, and took the overall.
And then won the overall at PCA the next day.
Did he
See,
do like how many shows has he done like in the last 8 days? Has he only won 2 overalls and won 1 show in the last 8 days or so?
It wouldn't surprise me. I remember 'cause he knows Alex Porter because I think they're both from the same area, and I was posing Alex last year, and they were just like, Alex was like, fuck me in my show again. Like, he's just does a whole season. He's a beast.
he went
This
up
is a
against
dude that,
Chris Bain,
sorry.
didn't he? Is it Chris Bain in the overall at NFM? I competed with Chris in 2021, and Chris is like a very good guy. He's made some insane progress over the last couple of years too. But yeah, look at that. That's just wild.
Crazy. To the point that, like, you might not think he's classic here, but if you scroll down, there's like a front double or a classic shot of him. He's one that could go in 2 bros if he can make the cap, fill the cap, and win a card instantly. Look at it.
Yeah, because he comes in so grainy as well. Like he's got that,
Yeah.
he's got
The
that
line is so
mature,
nice too.
Real
aged, you know, 32 mature age steak grain. Like he's got that look to him, and he
Yeah,
yeah,
he's an excellent bodybuilder, man.
such a sound guy as well. Like
Yeah, he's so chill. He was chatting like backstage. I can't remember what show
shout
it
out
was.
to Danny Howarth as well, man. He fucking smashed it on the weekend.
Yeah, I love Danny.
Another, you know, crazy fucking junior as well. Like what?
Yeah, it makes no sense. What's going on with these fucking juniors at the moment?
I didn't know he was that young still because he's a fucking good coach, man. He coaches a lot of
Yeah.
athletes, a lot of guys on stage and girls. And
Yeah.
then because I thought he was doing classic, I always thought he was doing classic, and that's him jump in the junior class.
Yes, people, we are back again with the part 2 because Leon obviously forgot to pay his premium subscription. So it split it up into 2. Hashtag create a GoFundMe for the ghost so he can fund these next calls. Let's roll on. Let's continue. Where was we? What was we getting into?
I think we covered like, well, Craig won the NFM anyway, so his point is going over Craig again. So we've covered, I think, all shows at the minute. To be honest, what other shows have we got even coming up? We've got Sweden this week coming, is it? I think there's a couple of English guys going for that, so it'll be worth keeping an eye out on that. I don't really know what else is really.
So Craig
coming up.
basically won everything. Any show, Craig's turn up like John Wick.
Yeah, he is John Wick of classic bodybuilding. I'm happy he's in the tall class at PCA. They didn't split it though this weekend, did they? It was just like classic one height.
Weren't busy enough now.
No, I think there's a few guys in it, but
Nice.
I don't know what happened to NFM. I didn't get any footage from that in the end. And where I was at FitX with my client yesterday, I couldn't kind of I tried to keep track of what was going on, but couldn't really kind of make out.
I saw nothing of the FitX.
Oh, FitX was dead. Like, it was cool. My client had the stage experience, but it was dead. Like there wasn't many competitors there.
Jeez. Jeez. Should we do some questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, bro.
right. I got one from Ash Fitness, a former client of mine. Key to flaring your quads. No matter how much I try to grip the floor with my toes, fuck all happens.
Do you want a good tip? Sit on the sofa and just try and wiggle your outer quad. Don't try and flex your leg like a leg extension. I think a lot of like internal connection comes from being able, like sitting here and being able to pec dance, like literally just flex that. Can you flex just the outer bit of the quad, and it'll feel like on the ball of your foot, the outer bit, you're trying to just push through that or like twitch through that, and that's how you turn it on. And even when you're on the floor, like stood up, you've not got to flex it like a leg extension. You've not got to grip real hard.
You have to get inside the muscle.
One thing
You got to get your head in it.
is like people think about like locking out the knee and just squeezing as hard as possible, and it's not going to give you the best look in the quads at all. Like you're just going to lock out your knees.
Really,
Another as well.
if you're preparing for a show, you should be lean enough to a point where you just need a slight bend in the knee, and your legs should separate. And if they don't separate, then you need to go and train legs some more because you probably don't have the legs for it.
Yeah, I remember I didn't know how to flex my legs for years. I think for instance, in a front relaxed, if you're stood in a front relaxed, don't lock your knees straight. Pull your hips back as well, so you have a lot of hip extension, and it's going to pull like your rec fem in the middle of your quads quite tight, and you'll feel it go tight. So just like subtle little tightness feelings like that, it'll feel like you're on a sissy squat, and then just again flexing through the outside of the ball of your foot. Just flex the outer quad. Don't try and stamp down, otherwise you won't be able to flex it.
The pelvic tilt, it is actually the absolute game changer for anyone's poses, to be honest.
Yeah, stick your ass out, boys.
Yeah, push that bunda out.
Right. Well, we're rattling off questions first. So, Aaron Aesthetics, big up Aaron. He's got a right rig on him. One of Dan Vasic's clients from down south. Most overused posing song.
Oh my god! I said this to FIBO. I was like, when Classic Boys were on stage without like watching the screen, because you could just tell by the music now.
Yeah.
Survivor has been absolutely.
I was just about to say that. Survivor, WEI, innit?
Yeah, Survivor's convinced.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Is it the XX intro? That can fuck off. There's one by Imagine Dragons as well. I can't remember what it is. That can fuck off. It's when you get asked to do someone's routine and they're sending you like,
yeah.
They just send the 2WIE album and say, bro, can you pick one of these? Jeez, I just send them the same routines I've done to everyone else. Do you know what I mean? You've already got the song there. Just say, bro, look, just have this routine, my G. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's like selling training plans. Buy a routine for 15 quid. To be fair, you can probably fucking do that.
Yeah. Do you know that's a good idea? I might actually do that.
Anything by Creed seems to get rinsed as well. Sacrifice is probably the biggest one.
There's usually some, not necessarily in Classic, but there's always some Linkin Park. Just stop.
Evanescence as well. Bring me back to life. That always gets played at a show.
Yeah, a lot of Figure Girls as well with that one.
It's a banger though, to be fair. Every time I hear it, I'm
Don't get me wrong. I'll tell you what, a guy did come out. And when DMX hit, I was like, do you know what? I can fuck with that.
What was that? What was that?
Guy come out of FitX listening to DMX. X gonna give it to you.
Oh shit.
That is so good.
The big X behind him as well. What a real bad man. Come on.
It was a flex. It got everyone moving. I was like, yeah, fair play. I'll roll with this.
That's what it's about. Energy and stage presence.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, man. Bring the energy. Bring the energy. Any of you got any more questions?
I got fucking aired. To be fair, I did only put it up like an hour ago, so I didn't really give much time for it. I was hoping that putting it on my story about you guys would push more people your way, and I thought, right, shit, I better actually do one. So probably should have done it this morning.
Someone asked me if I've chosen my routine for my posing songs this year. That wasn't really good English, was it? Have you chosen your song for your posing routine this year?
You're doing Dirty Diana, aren't you?
I'm not doing that's another fucking overused one. If you come to me, Diana, I'll
I did a routine to Dirty Diana last week, actually.
Oh god.
I did a freestyle to it like a couple of years back, and then it just seemed to be that season it just got rinsed, and I was like, never again.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't mind the version, the version that Sarah used. That addition's pretty decent.
So there's the one that Michael Jackson did. There's the one that Weekend did as well.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, the DD, isn't it? Yeah, Weekend.
Yeah,
it's not bad. It's not bad. Right.
Yes, I have chosen my song. I've chosen one of them. I think I've chosen two of them. I changed my mind like the win though, so I'll like do a routine. And then like last time I competed, I think I was literally like 2 weeks out. I'm like, yeah, not doing this anymore, and just change the song. So I have no idea why. But I think the more you like try and perfect something, the more it winds you up, and you're like, nah, this isn't good enough. So you just end up scrapping it.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I've got 3 or 4 that I'm kind of stuck between, but then I kind of see it as when you're trying to represent classic and you're doing multiple shows, why not do multiple routines? So
I think that mainly I'm wondering about this like as well. Like if you're a posing coach and you're just doing one, and you've got clients that are doing like multiple all season, like don't put your finger out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a routine done. Leon's done it. I think I'm gonna do the biggest best one. I think at PCA, just because the stage line and everything's so good, you get like the video of your routine so good, the photos are so good and everything. So I think the big bollocker of a routine is going to go out at the PCA show for me.
I feel like it would be appreciated more there.
Yeah, they mark your posing as well in Classic now. They mark your routine, so sick.
Yeah.
That routine I've seen as well from Be Ready. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, man.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done. There's a lot in it.
Bro, trust me. When you just put too much into a routine and like it gets difficult, doesn't it? Yeah. It gets fucking difficult, man.
It's difficult to do something that like people haven't seen before as well.
Doing that guest pose made me sweat, man. That 3-minute routine, that was difficult.
Yeah,
difficult.
It's like you don't want to just look like you're slamming poses together. It needs to match the mood of the song. It needs to match like the bars of the lyrics or the drop of the music or even the calm bits or anything. Like it's harder to do than people think.
That's something you don't see very often. Like that's something that I love about posing is taking a song that has 2 different sort of like levels to it, where it can be like a real slow build up and then quite like a hard like change and then like flowing with that. You don't really see that much with posing. It's always like if it's like flowy and elegant, they always like tend to stay quite safe. But I was going to say the thing I see with your freestyling is just the transitions and the way you piece things together. I'm like, how the fuck did he do that? Like, how does he move like that? And I feel like I have to like rewind and watch it again. I'm like, I can't figure out what he's done to move like that.
I always start trying and think, right, okay, what's a stupid way of doing this transition? And like that people haven't seen, rather than just stand up into something, I'll try and make it a bit like just moving around and doing the stage more. This is a good tip for people. Like if you're doing stuff to music, you don't have to just move straight into a pose. You don't have to just turn straight into one. Turn it off. Just walk calmly and composed into the next one, like 2 step into the next one. Use more of the stage, man, rather than like just staying in the same spot. Because that's something I was always guilty of for like pretty much years, probably even my last show, man. And it weren't until I like started going down and like pose with Sammy, and I was like, oh fuck, this guy's better than me. I was like, yeah, I need to start posing better. So it always pays to be around people that have like, whether they're better than you or not, stuff that they do is different that you can't pose like currently. Just to get better at doing it that way, or like mastering different ways. Because I always find as well, or I found, so I'm going off on a ramble here, Ryan Rambleby, but that was the first ever time I've been taught to pose by anybody, and I was like, this is way harder than self-teaching. So how many clients we get as posing coaches, and like how difficult they find it when we're actually telling them to do some more like maneuvering them around or something like that. It's much harder than flowing it and doing your own thing. So I think take things from people that are better than you, or take ideas, but just throw everything you've got at it, man, and you'll develop your own style much better than like just being taught by somebody.
Yeah, man. Without a doubt.
Very individual. And you can see that, like, you not only see that like from your own posing, but from posing coaches as well. Like I found last season, this season, I'd be at shows, I'd be like, that's a Sammy pose, or that's a Ryan pose, or that's a Leon pose. Like you can tell just like it has your stamp on it, which I think is quite cool as well.
Sign it with
Yeah,
a
it makes you proud when like your clients pull off something like, yeah. But yeah, you can tell. I think more than single poses, you can tell in like, you know, how we've pieced together stuff to a music, like 3 or 4 poses, and then the music will change 3 or 4 poses. Like you can kind of tell like just how we pick it up and interpret it, and like where we go in like certain directions.
100%.
Have you got any more questions, Leon?
I got a question from my client, Josh Connell. He said, on a scale of 1 to dead, how brutal was the RFL prep? And he also said, rate his rig if you got time.
So, I'll let you do yours first, and I'll come on at mine.
I think he hit the nail on the head when he on a scale of 1 to dead. That was absolute facts. It was difficult. It was difficult, but was it any more difficult than struggling at any point in a prep? You know, because you're going from like peak energy to, you know, fucked within a week. But yeah, you're only there for 4 or 5 weeks if you're doing a RFL the way I did it. So yeah, it feels shit, but only for a month, you know, as opposed to being in prep for 20+ weeks. You may get to a point of being halfway and then start to feel like shit, where most people do. And then you feel like shit for the whole half of the rest of the prep. So
Already
you weigh it up, but some days, yeah, it was probably one of the most challenging things I've done. I think it was just doing my normal lifestyle at the same time of coaching, having to think and use your brain when you've got no energy at all, you know, having to continue to pose clients, you know, continuing to wake up every morning, get 7K steps done fasted, and then train, you know, come home for your post-workout to be an absolute big slice of thin air. You know, it's fucking difficult. Do you know what I mean? But needs necessary. I always say, you know, you just got to get your head down, girth out, and get it done.
That's it.
I think it's like, if you reach that point in prep where food's got to get that low anyway, it's going to suck like both sides of the coin, man. Like, I had to close my books last time around for clients. I think I was about 4 weeks out, and I was just like, God, not on enough food. Sorry, like, no, I didn't physically say that. I was like, physically couldn't even think. You know, when like you don't want, you've got to drive somewhere, and you're like, I don't trust myself to drive at the minute because I can't even fucking sit up straight on a sofa. Like, it's not good.
Fully.
It's like, to add on to what Leon said, it's a fast track way of just feeling what the end of prep's like. Like, I think the confusing thing for me was like 4 weeks in, I was like, bro, I feel like I'm like 16 weeks in. I shouldn't be feeling like this. But then when you logically think about it, like, yeah, I should be feeling like this. Like,
got to that percentage. So like, yeah, you should like.
Exactly, yeah. I found, I don't know if you were the same, Leon, but I found like actually reversing out with more food, then like the hunger really fucking kicked in when I had more carbs. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah,
when you're in the RFL, you're almost like, yeah, I've got no food. Cool. It is what it is. But then when those carbs come back in and the fats come back in, you're like, I am literally so fucking hungry all the time. And your weight just still keeps dropping. Like you get a little bit fuller,
yeah.
but you just get leaner and just more and more hungry. And the fatigue really kicks your ass then as well.
See, I had like my hunger was at a different solar system for half the year because I did that initial first week on like an RFL to, you know, correct appetite because we didn't even aim for a prep, and then thought, fuck it, we'll go for a prep. So we'll continue RFL in here now and see if we're putting any potential refeeds. And it ended up 5 weeks on an RFL straight on with no refeeds. And then we did that first show, and then it was then 4 back-to-back shows, so another 4 weeks worth of shows, still while only getting the carbs obviously on the carb up. So it was just pro fats in between. And then from there, we went straight into a post-show rebound. My rebound went up to maintenance calories. So my appetite was nuts. I was away in marbs as well. You know, I was just doing a protein sparing fast throughout the day and then absolutely hammering a good meal in the evening. But it literally just never stopped because as soon as I literally finished a rebound, it was maintenance, still on maintenance calories. My appetite was ravenous. And then I went from maintenance calories back into prep again for the Atlas, which was probably the longest prep that I did throughout all of the preps I did that year. So yeah, appetite was crazy all the way through that. And then appetite was probably the hardest thing once you start to push food back up, right? Once I got their maintenance calories, I was like, I'm fucking starving.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Mine was so low at the end of my last prep, and then I went straight on with Joe. I'm coming out straight after it, man, and I was like, it bung the food high. It just does not fucking stop, man. When you've had to dig that far, it does not stop. But luckily, we didn't have to go back into prep, and we just like slingshot it straight out. I kept going.
Yeah, man.
Should we rate his rig? What's the rig like? What's it saying?
Josh Connell, let's have a look. Go. Somewhere. Big Josh.
Oh yeah, this is a dude that competed the other day. Your client.
Oh yeah.
So that was obviously Josh on the carb up there, leading into that PCA first timers that he did. Yeah, he was a pleasure to coach, man. Like, still is. Still, I've coached Josh for well over a year now, about a year and a half. Took him all for an off season, and what did we put on? I think 40 pounds in the first push up that we did. Where it was a couple of 2 back-to-back massing phases, obviously a maintenance in between, but yeah, it was like fucking 40 pounds and just absolutely blew him the fuck up, and then continued massing throughout the rest of that. And it was like, right, he wanted to do a first timer, so we locked and loaded that in and just went for it. Like, but yeah, pretty crazy rig. He's a big boy.
Yeah, you can
Honestly,
see.
did the bodybuilding class, got the first place, and then yeah, but yeah,
It looks nice balance there when he's full on show day.
that's him now, blown the fuck up post show.
Yes, that's better. The quads are come straight back to life for the lowest weight balance there.
That's what I was going to say on the physique. I was like, I'd love to see more quad on him. Oh Jesus, they're back.
Yeah,
so,
you can
his
say
back
something.
is so dense. Like, he's a dense guy. But the one thing we didn't notice when we was pushing up in off season, I think he had a bit of an injury in his left quad. So we didn't notice until we fully, trimmed him right down and took as much body fat off as possible. You see how he's got a bit of an imbalance in the quads. So one of his quads is slightly smaller than the other. So we didn't notice that until we fully got him diced down to show ready. So obviously that's going to be the focus when we fully enter the official off season from here. Pushing emphasis into bringing this up and then just bringing everything else up. Then I think the judges wanted more overall legs, more leg from the side, more hammy. But his muscularity from the waist up is pretty much fucking there, man.
Yeah, it's nice, man.
Very nice, very thick and dense.
And I taught him how to do a 3/4 double the week before his show. He's a sound guy, man. He just gets it done.
And that's bodybuilding. That's prep, isn't it? Like,
straight up.
People say, "What's the trick?" I was like, just shutting up and getting on with it. Like, you've got to do it. It's you're gonna be hungry. You're gonna be tired. Like,
it's so good about this prep because it feels like I don't give a fuck. I do. I really care about the show, but it's like it's so nice to just not be like terrified and just be like, oh yeah, it's simple. And just fucking eat the food. Do the step. I ain't got to fucking be an engineer no more, so I'll just chill. Nice and easy.
Easy coach life now, isn't it?
Yeah. Rate my rig we've got one from Aaron Aesthetics actually. We've got him and Joe Higgins that want to rate my rig. So Aaron _ Aesthetics.
Is it 2 A's? Is it 8A Ron?
Yeah, 8A Ron.
8A Ron.
God damn it, 8A Ron. Have you seen that? It's _ Aesthetics.
_ Okay.
AES.
Oh my god. AES. Bro, I am literally retarded.
There we are. Aaron Cobb. Mate, this dude is built.
24 natural classic physique. What the fuck?
yes.
Bro, who all deleted his weight?
Ridiculous.
Fucking hell.
I think that was
about to snap.
I want to find this guy's midsection.
He's one of Dan Bastic's lads. Him and Joe are. They're both mates. I had Joe in for posing the other week. And I think they're both going to come up and make the most out of it because they drove up like Plymouth way.
I had Joe in a while ago when he was doing his first prep that I think he pulled out of it in the end. But I had him in for a couple of posing calls then.
Higgins, yeah, he's a nice lad. Look at the fucking balance on this kid. What a freak.
Jesus Christ.
Aaron,
was
if you're watching this, mate, you really want us to rate you out of 10, dude? Because come on, it's not fair on us, is it? The posing is sensational.
Yeah. That's a thick natty boy.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely.
He's looking like this, and then there's us that has to take 2 or 3 grams to look like that.
Right?
Mad.
What the fuck is that?
There's your rating out of 10. What the fuck is that out of 10?
Mad.
Hey, man.
It's natural as well.
How is Natty Kids looking like this, man?
Bro, how is he natty? Like, that's nuts. Well, I
No.
say that, I know exactly how he's natty because I've got a large amount of natty freaks on my team, so it is possible.
I mean, look there where he stood next to Dan. Like, Dan's not a fucking small guy.
Dan's
Dan-
enormous.
This dude is built for classic physique, though, man. That fucking waist in these
Yeah.
shots just makes everything look absolutely nutty.
It looks Photoshopped, but it's a video, so it ain't.
Yeah.
Man.
He's got to be.
with that waist.
I'd
Yeah,
give him an 8. I'd give him an 8 out of 10 because there's
Yeah.
always room for improvement, obviously. But yeah, that waist is impressive. The shoulders, the width, the fucking arms.
I'd give it a 9, man, because like this is Natty. Like, how far else can you go, Natty? Really, other than like, I think the shape of like the balance of the outer quad, you know, like in the side chest and stuff like that, which is 24. It's mad.
Fuck,
Yeah,
man.
I'm giving him 9.
You know, people
Yeah.
are just made for it, aren't they? People are literally put on this planet to step on stage and be freaks.
Yeah.
Savage.
Built for this shit.
Yeah. I think if your posing just gets tweaked just a little bit, Aaron, like, man,
Yeah.
it'd be sensational.
Yeah, nutty. Nutty. I'd like to see him really stand up straight in that shot, though.
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
a little bit
Not
straight.
like when you like
Close
your
up the
side-
gap a little bit, puff
Yeah.
the chest up, have this like reared out flat line down, so it creates a nice line down there.
It's
Because
when you like
he looks like a tall lad.
it's when you bend the knee that much, like your lower back bends backwards, so it sticks your stomach out and it like sends everything the wrong way slightly. So it's just like little tweaks that will just make it look fucking stupid.
Without a doubt. He's got the rig, just the tweaks to posing, man. And fucking hell. I don't think this dude could go into an enhanced federation and clear up, bro.
Yeah, he could win an open PCA classic easily.
Am I not even following this guy as well? I'm now.
And then Joe Higgins is obviously the next one. These two freaks, I think they're mates and they train together a lot of the time.
I think I've heard of Joe before.
Yeah.
Really nice dude, man. Really nice dude.
But he posts on the forum as well, doesn't he?
Deceivingly big. He's like gotta be like 6'1", 6'2".
Big Hig Dingo. Big boy.
Yeah.
The rear lat spread, nutty.
Very nice balance. Very nice.
Yeah, man.
He's not lacking anything. That twisting double as well. That's lovely.
Say that just
That's the shit you want to see. That is.
Yeah, boy.
that.
Yeah, look. How could I forget to tag Big Ryan Brambleby, you know, for the trip up to see him a couple of weeks ago. And he's come away with a beautiful twisting rear double. Beautiful. We love to see it.
Shout out to the Mocha Jordans. Go on, boy. That's what
Jeez.
I
You
like
can't be creasing them, dude, in a twist and double. Come on. Take them off.
But yeah, impressive,
Very,
man.
very well.
Young as well, yeah, 22. 22.
Yeah.
Hold on.
How old is the other
Didn't even
guy?
know he was that young.
Do you know how old
Oh
he-
yeah, I've done his routine. And I remember the other week I was saying to him, I was like, "Oh, your routine's marked now, by the way, in classic." So I didn't think he was old. Like I thought he was obviously older than juniors. I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing juniors, bro." Oh, mate.
So we've got Jan to rate as well.
Oh, yeah.
This guy is unreal.
Man is a freak.
I love his posing. It's just so old school and classic, like real like Frank Zane kind of like 80s. Like look at that.
17. Leon, go on his story where he put like this morning shots on.
17 years old. What the fuck?
Yeah, from this morning's check-in, man. Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous, bro. Every time I look at his check-in, I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Bro, we just gassed just everybody up on this rate morphosy. Someone send a rig in that's shit so we can shit on you.
But the posing as well, like, look.
Yeah, it's fucking
Yeah.
sensational.
On point. The level of like density that his physique holds at 17 is actually scary. Like, look at that top line.
Jan is like, you know, when you have a client, is a fucking golden goose of a client. That's Jan.
Very creative with it as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like all his flow and lines, like
Everything's always hit so perfectly as well. Nothing is ever off by a millimeter in his shots. His footwork, the way his hips are, everything is just perfect every time he poses.
the guy just loves the art of posing.
Right, so I've got another one to rate here while I'm on it. But I think my phone's about to die, so I'm going to get them done before my phone dies.
Before this meeting ends as well.
Yeah, trust me.
It's bound to be finished sometime. It's nearly there. Oh, we've got a few more minutes. It's cool.
Here we go. He's coming to see me for some posing soon, the big man here. He took the over
yeah,
last year. He's another one coached by is it Jake Watts, Jake Hamp?
Cool.
Where is he? There we go. The vacuum is lovely as well. Arms look fucking crazy.
His arms, very sick arms.
I don't really know if he's lacking anything. Even like in that shot there, I think he's just really flat as fuck. Like because his legs look beastie on stage.
Mm.
I don't think he's missing a single thing. Who is this? Oh, fucking Sammy was telling me about this kid. I'm sure because I'm sure they live down the same area.
That's nutty. That's nutty. If you was to rate, I think, yeah, you could probably do with a bit more overall leg thickness because the back is the upper body's clearly not lacking. Like, look at the state of this shot, but everyone in Classic wants that dirty ham drop, you know, so that could never go amiss.
Just like a well-balanced sweep, man, from a lot of, you know, like lunge style movements that just develop like, you know, everything at once. And it just all like ties in lovely glutes, hams, quads.
I say this more glute, hamstring, thicker quad. Split squat the fuck out of it, mate.
Yeah, bro. Trust me.
Split squat the fuck out of it.
Split squats are a mad thing.
Them hamstrings and glutes will fucking grow. You only need like 1 to 2 sets a week. You're sore for days.
Yeah, overall, good fucking physique, man, I think.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, very nice.
Have I got any more? Oh, have I got Jack Greg? Jay Greg.
Jay?
Yeah, it's just J and then Greg with 2 G's and then an underscore. No, just the letter J.
Oh.
No space.
No space. Jay Greg.
There we are. Now this kid's natty as well. He's got it, bro. Come on. If you want me to rate your physique, you better put some physique shots up, man. Should know better than this, Jack. We're gonna have to go off this old one, mate.
Is this your guy?
No, he's coached by AJ now. He was coached by Christian. I've had him in for posing quite a few times. He's fucking got.
I don't even follow the man back. There's a Liberty.
Jeez, too famous.
Hey, here we go.
Jack's got a sick rig guy. I'll give Jack an 8. It's very well put together, very well in proportion.
We got this here. Who's this punk?
Got me naked in the fucking photo with him.
Jeez. Right.
Okay.
The chosen one. Yeah, there's not too much on here, is there, to be fair, like physique-wise.
Nah, but you can see on the photo below of his missus. Oh, actually, there's someone there. Like you can see there, we've fixed his double since then and stuff like that. He's got like real nice classic lines, man, for a natty.
You can tell that's a Ryan Brambleby front double, straight up. No. Yeah, nice, man. Nice. I'd be interested to see what he's looking like currently, though.
I think he's been prepping about 4 weeks, I think. But he'll look very good on stage, man. I think that's pretty much it, boys. I've got no more questions or rate my rigs.
I got one from one of my guys. So the Aiden guy we were talking about earlier. So it's A and I think double underscore
A double underscore.
and then MCM. So third one down.
Oh, yes, we were talking about you earlier, Aiden, offline before we jumped on.
Months. Junior.
Junior as well.
Yeah.
Bro, the juniors are taking over.
Bro, I'm fucking retiring soon. If I'm retiring next year, I think, looking at all these young bucks. Can't keep up.
He came to me in a shit spot.
Ginger as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, us gingers have got to look out for each other. This guy's an 11 out of 10. But no, he's built well, to be fair, man.
His progress over months has been fucking nuts, like absolutely nuts.
Yeah, ridiculous. The fucking quad.
Thick, well balanced, not a thing out of proportion. Waist is lovely. Lines are lovely. It's just fucking all the potential in the world, man. Very good.
There's not a finger out of place.
Very excited to prep this guy. I've said I want more arms on him, more forearm as well. That's the
yeah, you can never have two big arms.
The forearm things.
Yeah.
Just pin him a synthol.
Yeah.
Easy work. Done.
I dread to think how many liters of Prima Bowl and my triceps have seen.
How long's a piece of string?
Yeah.
Well, guys, I guess that concludes it. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to do the same again, maybe next week at the Sweden show. We'll see what shows are on this week and what the Sweden's looking like. And, if there's any British guys in there or anything like that, we'll, of course, do a breakdown. Guys, as well, if you are competing, if you've got shows coming up and you want to be featured in this, you've got to look the bollocks, though. Drop us a DM, man, and we will cover your show. We will watch out for you on stage. We'll get your show photos up and send your Rate My Rig in. So see you later, boys.
Peace.
Much love.